I'm here today to discuss distribution systems. We know that in order to use water, we need a water right. We've learned the water right will have a quantity. Maybe our right is for half a CFS. And our right is going to have a priority date. Hopefully a nice early one, right? Once I've got all my paper water rights in order, how do I receive the water? For lots of water right holders, their water is regulated and delivered by a distribution system. I'll pause here and let you read this technical definition. A distribution system is an area defined by the state engineer with water. Inside that area, the water right holders organize and hire an employee called a water commissioner. It's the water commissioner's job to divvy out the water according to the seniority and the flow limits on all of the water rights. Right now, there are 35 active distribution systems throughout the state. Within these colored areas, there are commissioners tracking how much water is there on a given day, who is in line to receive that water. If that person doesn't need it today, who is next in line, and who needs to turn off on a given day because there isn't enough water to serve that particular water right. Prior to 1919, the courts were responsible to supervise distribution of water. There are still court-run systems in the state today, but as of 1919, the legislature assigned responsibility for regulating the distribution of water to the state engineer's office. Participants in a distribution system include the water right holders, a distribution system committee, one or more commissioners, and the state engineer's office. Every water user is required to have a controlling works and a measuring device. In order to distribute water, the water commissioner needs to be able to turn diversions up or down, sometimes stop a diversion entirely. A head gate, like the one shown on the left here, is a common controlling works. The commissioner also needs to know how much water an individual is taking. Is the person over their right, under their right? Without a measuring device, he can't know. So every diversion must have a measuring device. For measuring devices, folks typically use flumes, weirs, or electronic flow meters. But it's up to the water user. As long as it's considered accurate by the commissioner, it's an acceptable device. Distribution systems can include hundreds of water right holders. Doing anything with such a large group can be tough, so distribution systems have committees made up of maybe 3 to 15 members, and those committees make the decisions. Each water right holder votes to elect the committee member who will represent their part of the system. The commissioner gets paid a salary, drives a vehicle, requires some equipment, publishes a report at the end of the year. So, distribution systems have expenses to pay. The water users in the system pay an annual assessment to cover those expenses. So in summary, the water users maintain a controlling works, a measuring device, elect a representative on the committee, and pay an annual assessment. And that's their function in the system. Every distribution system has a committee made up of the elected representatives. It's the committee's job to set a budget of expenses, how much to pay, what equipment needs to be purchased. Do we need a deputy commissioner? How should we pay the commissioner for his travel costs? Is our commissioner going to receive benefits like health insurance or retirement? These decisions are made by the committee. Distribution systems have bank accounts with the state engineer's office. Once the budget has been set, the committee needs to see how much money the system has in its account, and in looking at how much it plans to spend, determine how much money they need to collect in the upcoming annual assessment. The committee also selects the person to serve as commissioner. They advertise the job, they interview candidates, and they recommend the person they want to the state engineer. So the committee is basically responsible for the business of the system. Who do we hire? How much do we spend? How much do we collect? These are their responsibilities. Now let's talk about what the commissioner does. He or she divides up the water using the doctrine of prior appropriation. First in time, first in line, right? So the water rights with the earliest priority date being the first water users eligible to receive their allocation for the day. The commissioner measures and tracks how much water there was every day and who diverted it and how much they diverted. The commissioner publishes that information in an annual report. On any given day, our commissioner is figuring out how much water is there, who wants water today, how much water that user may be entitled to. And that's actually the easy part. But then the commissioner has to, make it so. In other words, they have to communicate to every water right holder how much they can take and then go verify that they're taking only that amount. Commissioners drive out to diversions and read the measuring devices and actually turn the headgates up and down. But they also call, text, they place notices on the internet. They use all different kinds of methods of communication to achieve this, and they can tag diversions. There are two kinds of tags. This white tag gets attached to a headgate, and it communicates to the users that the commissioner has set this gate and it ought not be changed without coordination. Red tags, we call them red tags even though it's clearly an orange tag, are used when the commissioner shuts off a diversion. And they say basically that the state can take enforcement action if you open this gate and divert water. So a tag like this might be used because someone's diverting without a right, or maybe they haven't paid their annual assessment for several years in a row. Maybe their gate or their measuring device is broken and they've been unwilling to fix it for quite some time. Those are reasons you might see those orange tags. There can be other jobs. Some commissioners manage equipment that automatically measures diversions and publishes those measurements on the internet. On some systems, commissioners help the water users keep their diversion dams and their measuring devices free from sediment or debris. The committees can, and they do, ask commissioners to perform other duties as part of their jobs. So the last party in the distribution system is the state engineer's office. What's the state engineer's role in these systems? Well, they actually hire the commissioner that the committee chooses. So a commissioner is a state employee, but as we discussed earlier, it's the committee who decides who they want the state to hire as their commissioner. They are a state employee, so the state engineer pays the commissioner from the money in the distribution systems account. Our office also mails out the annual assessments to the water users, receives the payments, and deposits those payments into the systems account. And finally, we train and direct the commissioner. That entails teaching the commissioner how to measure or calculate how much water is in the system every day. And once that's been accomplished, what are all of the rights on this system? The commissioner needs to know that, and our office maintains lists and maps for the commissioners with all of the water rights. We update those lists and maps when water rights are bought or sold or segregated or moved. That wraps up the basics of distribution systems and how they run.